This should do. How do you feel?
Can't complain. After all, there's a cozy tree in my back.
I promise, this will be the last fire. After tonight, it won't be trees anymore, but walls and a roof. In Shiring, I will find a job.
What if the bishop wants to hire you for life? To keep his palace in shape, but maybe strengthen the town's defenses? Plain things, Tom Builder. Just walls and roofs.
There. Took me a lifetime to find some dry ones in this wet. Why didn't we just use your staff? That old thing would have done nicely.
Because that thing is precious. It's not made to burn. And we might be able to sell it. Right, now let's see if this does the trick.
Martha, you want to cut up some turnips? We'll be making soup.
If it helps.
Alfred, you go and look for water.
We could just eat snow.
No, it'll be proper water for my family. You sit, I'll take care of it.
You still haven't answered my question, Tom Builder. What if the bishop offered you a job like they did in Exeter? Something that is beneath your craft, but pays for a lifetime. Easy work.
Well, building something is never easy.
You know what I mean. After Exeter, you said, I could create something that matters, something that stands for eternity, or I could die setting up houses and sheds. But what if houses and sheds would feed your family? Would you stay this time, or would you keep on looking?
I'd be glad to stay.
Would you now? Just promise me you'll think about it.
Maybe we can sell the baby.
Alfred!
I'm joking. Don't listen to me.
Can you see the sun yet?
No, but Martha...
Don't distract me. I'm working.
Too hard for my fist, but my pot should break it. Houses and sheds. Walls and roofs. I'd be glad. I should be glad.
Tom! What's keeping you? And did you think about what I asked you?
Dreaming of building a cathedral was foolish. When we get to Shiring, I'll take the job.
Why is a cathedral so special?
Well, you've seen a few. You should know.
Yes, but there are so many already. Why do you have to build another one? Is it because God needs more houses?
May I?
If you must.
Well. Actually, a cathedral isn't so different from any other house. At its heart, it's always about a roof to keep off the rain.
But don't you need walls first?
Very good. A roof to keep off the rain, and walls to keep up the roof. Together that makes one big, long, but dark room. Like a cave. So of course you may want some light coming in.
Windows.
Right. So the people inside can see what they're doing.
I think you forgot something. People can't get in if there are only walls.
So, what do you suggest?
Doors, of course.
Right. And not only doors, but a big and impressive one to let in as many people as possible. By now, we've carved quite a few holes in our cathedral. Unfortunately, not every building can carry a roof like that, and have so many windows.
So what do we do?
Good and solid work. That's what we do. If we don't want our cave to collapse, we have to make everything perfect. Not only strong, but consistent and perfectly even. The walls, the roof, the windows, everything perfectly proportioned.
You shouldn't say big words like proportioned when talking to a child.
What does it mean?
It means beauty. Well, it means not only will it keep them dry, it will give them hope. This?
Mama?
The baby is coming.
But it's not due. Have your waters broken yet?
Soon after we started walking this morning.
You should have told me.
I'm so tired. I don't believe I can bring it into the world.
Oh, look at all the blood.
Let me cover you. Children? Martha? Go and collect more wood. Let's have a bigger fire.
Let me do it. I'm quicker than her.
No, let me do it.
Let Martha do it.
I'll be quick.
It'll take forever before she's back.
Get more water. Take snow if you must to make it warm.
Right.
Remember when Martha was born and the Lady Isabella acted as midwife?
You were building a chapel. And you asked her to send her maid to fetch the midwife from the village.
Yeah, and she said, that drunken old witch will let her deliver a literal wolfhound pups. And she took us to our own chamber. And poor Lord Robert could not go to bed until Martha was born. I'd say for a year as bad as this one, we've managed quite well.
You lost your work. And then Martha almost got killed by that pig thief. You call that well?
I know. But we're still here for each other, aren't we? holding together as a family. Us builders aren't carved out of measly wood. Never were.
Expect a lump of granite to come falling from my legs?
I wouldn't be surprised. I am proud of you.
I feel so weak.
You'll make it. You're a strong woman. That's why I love you so much.
Two of a kind, eh? I'm sorry that I kept quiet all day. I didn't want anyone to worry.
The water's warm now.
Put it next to me.
Is the fire better now?
Can you feel the warmth?
Yes.
It's just like you to keep quiet about it.
The day was hard enough on everyone without me complaining.
I know, but we will get through this.
It's not long now. Be ready.
I'm here with you.
I know.
Right, what can I do to help?
Stay with me.
Will she die? She'll die, right?
Mama.
It's coming. Help me, Tom. It's coming.
I can see it.
It looks horrible.
He's perfect. A perfect boy. You're still bleeding.
It's all right. It will stop soon. Tom,
Yes?
you make a fine midwife. Did you know that? Do you remember the night I came to you? In your lodge? When you were working on my father's church?
Of course. How could I ever forget?
I never regretted giving myself to you. Never. For one moment. Every time I think of that night, I feel so glad.
Me too.
I hope you build your cathedral.
I thought you were against it.
I was. But I was wrong. You deserve something beautiful. Build a beautiful cathedral. For me.
Papa, what's wrong with her face?
Agnes! Agnes, wake up!
year of our Lord 1135 had come to an end. King Henry of England, son of William the Conqueror, had died. It was a time of poverty and death. In their despair, some had come to believe Christ and all his saints had gone to sleep, and that the pillars of the earth themselves had begun to crumble. Brother Paul? Hello!
You just crossed the bridge, right? That'll be a farthing for you and a penny for your horse.
Monks and villagers don't have to pay a toll.
Sorry, I'm not good at this. I told Brother Paul. It's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
It is not much, but I can share this with you. I hope now it will be easier for you to fulfill your duties.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Will you take care of my horse, brother? I have come to see Prior James.
Prior James? That's him the bells are tolling for. Leave the horse here. I'll get it down to the priory later. Fish should go nicely with that cheese.
What? Why are they ringing the bells?
Don't you know? The devil has come to Kingsbridge.
The devil has come to Kingsbridge?
When he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth. The moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky.
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the pestilence that walketh in darkness. The pestilence that rode in on the lightning that struck our cathedral 4 years ago. Did you not all feel its presence here ever since? James did, and I did as well. But the Lord says, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Our beloved Prior James has served the Lord all his life. He shall be delivered from the darkness, from this dark earth.
Prior James?
Philip.
Francis?
Shh. For many years, James has been our prior. After the upcoming election, I vow to lead Kingsbridge Priory with the same steady hand. Amen.
Philip, we told your brother you'd come to Kingsbridge New Year's Day.
I did not expect to see you here.
I was on my way back to Gloucester and wanted to see you.
A priest working in the world of politics. You must tell us about it, Francis.
Of course.
And his brother a prior of what now? 2 years?
It's been 4 years, Cuthbert.
I see. How are things in St. John in the Forest, Philip?
Our little cell is happy and healthy.
Happy and healthy. Thanks to your brother, Francis, St. John in the Forest is prospering. His novices are obedient, his monks humble and pious, while our own priory is in such a sorry state.
You know James did the best he could. It was not his fault. Also, they make a remarkable cheese in St. John's. Come by the kitchen later to see us, will you?
Brother Cuthbert seemed upset.
Well, we all are. The way James died was disturbing.
Disturbing? How did Prior James die?
7 days ago, Brother Remigius found James's room empty. We all looked for him for hours. Then we found his footprints by the bridge and a hole in the ice.
Oh no.
No.
In the small hours of Christmas Day, he must have walked out on the river. We didn't even find his body. The river took him, and the cold.
I will pray for James. See me when you have time, Philip. I will be in the cathedral.
And I should go and see how Brother Cuthbert is doing. It's good to see you, Philip. Maybe things will get better after the chapter elects the new prior.
Hopefully. I will come by the kitchen later, Milius.
So what do you think it means?
I don't know. There is no reason to punish us for asking.
At least it wasn't Remigius who punished us. Brother Marcus said he's taking a beating now once a week.
Have you seen my brother, Francis?
The priest working for Robert of Gloucester? He's your brother? Your family?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he went into the cathedral, I believe.
He did. I saw him.
Thank you. You are very helpful.
You could have asked him.
Why didn't you?
I'm happy to see you, little brother.
It's good to see you too, Philip. Your hair is starting to get a bit grey.
Yours isn't. At least in this one case, I will be the one to boldly charge ahead of you.
You've always been bold. You just don't admit it to yourself.
Francis, what are you doing here?
King Henry is dead.
I know. Word reached St. John's shortly before I left.
First the king, and now Prior James.
God has a plan.
I know he does, but King Henry's death caused quite a commotion in the world of politics. Dark times are coming. There will be war.
Only we could stop the suffering.
Maybe we can. I came not just to meet you. I was sent to look for a messenger of my lord, Earl Robert.
Here? In Kingsbridge?
Farmers said the messenger was heading for Kingsbridge 2 weeks ago. The knight was carrying a confidential document that might change the course of the conflict. People here trust you. Maybe the monks here know something?
We will find him.
One more thing. No one can know why we're looking for the knight.
Marcus is up there too.
No. That's why I feel sorry for him.
Brothers, have you two heard about a knight visiting Kingsbridge?
The Earl of Shiring was here, and some of his knights.
And many other nobles at Christmas.
It would have been a lone rider, a messenger.
I don't think so.
If someone had come to Kingsbridge, Brother Paul would have seen him.
Brother Paul went back out to his toll hut.
I see. Thank you.
You could have asked him.
Why didn't you?
This priory is so much bigger than our small cell in the forest.
Philip!
Brother Milius.
Come! Warm yourself by the oven.
Is that Philip? Tell him to warm himself by the oven.
Thank you, Brother Cuthbert. Hard at work, as usual, Milius?
I have to serve salt fish 6 times a week now.
We hear you have fresh fish every day at your cell in the forest.
Every other day, we even have poultry.
You have done wonderful work at St. John's, Philip. We, on the other hand, had a weak prior for 13 years. May the Lord rest his soul. What you worked hard for at St. John's is wasted here in the mother house.
After the election, the new prior ought to put things right.
Remigius? Put things right.
Maybe we underestimate Remigius.
He's about to burn all the books and documents in the prior's room, including the priory's ledgers.
Remigius says James asked for everything to be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
What? Without the ledgers, the priory's finances will be beyond saving. Was no one else nominated?
Only Cuthbert.
I refused. I'm too old.
No one else dares to follow in Prior James's footsteps. Not since he began talking to the devil.
What?
one day he started talking to the devil, as if they were standing side by side. He was bargaining with the devil for his soul, whispering about his sins.
His sins? Did you see a knight in Kingsbridge?
You mean, aside from the nobles attending the Christmas service? No, I don't remember any knights visiting us.
We'll talk more later. Milliers, why do you keep a beautiful pot like this around?
Oh, it reminds me that we should strive for order and beauty. I started collecting some seeds and nuts because I wanted to start a new garden.
A good idea.
I never got around to collecting more, though. If you find some, let me know.
Ah, wonderful.
I always put some extra stones on the stove to warm up water. Put one in your pocket, and you'll keep warm.
Oh? Ouch!
Careful, they're hot.
Nice and warm, and I didn't burn my hands, Milius.
I knew you could do it.
Brother Cuthbert.
Ah, we were waiting for you. I hope you brought some of that wonderful cheese you make at St. John's.
I gave it to one of your novices.
Why would you do that?
He said it's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
Greedy brother Marcus.
You are too trusting, Philip.
Brother Cuthbert, you seem worried.
Prior James was a kind man, but the priory is in a terrible state for them.
Philip knows. He was just too kind to say anything.
Yes, I know. I wanted to use my New Year's visit to talk with Prior James about these matters.
We should be rich. The priory has much land and collects from many parish churches. But we are in debt. Our novices steal from us, Philip.
The novices are stealing?
Yes. Someone took my keys. Remigius blames me for losing them. But someone used them to steal food from the cellar more than once. Today I found something missing again.
Let us continue another time, Brother Cuthbert.
Of course.
Brother Paul?
Philip. Ah, ouch. Oh.
What's wrong with your foot, Brother Paul?
Oh, just a chilblain. It will ease when the spring comes.
You should have a fire.
It's all right. It's not that cold.
Don't take it lightly. Many will die this winter for lack of food or shelter.
Remigius thinks the Lord is testing us. Only the sinners perish.
No, the poor perish, and those that he has freezing out here.
Don't say anything to Remigius, will you? If he thinks I've been complaining, he'll be displeased.
Here, Paul.
Oh. Ouch! Oh. A hot stone! Ah! It's a mercy, Philip. Thank you.
Remigius should give you a fire, or not have you sit here at all.
I don't really mind. Winter is bound to end sometime. Philip, if you ever run into trouble with Remigius, be careful to answer him. Do not stay silent.
Silent?
Nothing makes him angrier than someone who doesn't answer. He becomes weak and defensive. It's not fitting for a sub-prior, let alone prior.
Have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
A knight? Oh, yeah. Yes. He was just lying by the road, just a mile away from the priory. He must have fallen from his horse.
Where is he now?
He died. We buried him in the cemetery.
Did he have a name? Did he say anything?
He could not speak. But the look in his eyes told me he was afraid. I held his hand and prayed with him while he died.
Did the knight have anything with him?
There was a letter. I gave it to Prior James. Remigius will probably burn it with the rest of James's papers. James insisted that all his books and documents shall be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
I heard about this. I think that would be unwise.
Sometimes I wonder if it was because of that letter. A few days later, Prior James fell through the ice. Right here. Philip, maybe I brought a curse on Kingsbridge.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Have faith in the Lord, Brother Paul. You did well.
Thank you, Philip.
Brother Arnaldus, how are you?
Huh? What?
How are you? Are you well?
Oh, Brother Philip. Yes, I am well. It's just that the dead won't stay in the ground.
What?
The dead. It's probably those badgers always digging up the graves.
My father gave the priory a good deal of land to keep me fed. I won't eat salted fish all day.
Me neither.
Shall we go into the cellar again tonight?
Yes, Brother Marcus. You still have old Cuthbert's keys?
Indeed I do. I hid them right in the church. Stuffed them in the large crack in the wall.
I could do some crack stuffing myself.
I bet you could.
I asked not to be disturbed.
Brother Remigius, I'm sorry I interrupted your service.
You mean Prior James's service?
Quite so. I heard he fell through the ice. Horrible.
Yes. I was the one who found his rosary by the river. Now let me continue my work.
I would like to take a look at Prior James's documents.
And why is that, Brother Philip?
Well, our little cell has given much to the Mother House. I would like to ensure that all is accounted for.
So you do not trust us, Philip, is that it?
The state of this priory...
The state of this priory is the concern of the Prior of Kingsbridge.
I still would like to see the prior's documents.
They will be burned tonight.
I heard about that.
It was Prior James's last wish. I'm following his request.
But the new prior will be lost without the ledgers and contracts.
After the election, I'll be the new prior.
For now, you are not. Only the chapter meeting can decide on these matters.
Of course. Brother Andrew will surely understand why you would go against James's last request. If you really want to be of help, look for Brother Cuthbert's keys. He's getting old, misplacing them all the time.
Brother Marcus stole Cuthbert's keys.
Brother Marcus. I will deal with him. You were right to report this to me. Theft is something we cannot take lightly.
The novice said he hid the keys in here.
They're here. I have them. This Brother Marcus really did steal Cuthbert's keys.
At least it wasn't Remigius who punished us. Brother Marcus said he's taking a beating now once a week.
What we have to ask ourselves is, can our Saint Adolphus still protect Kingsbridge in these dark times?
He couldn't protect Prior James. Ever since that lightning struck the cathedral, he wasn't the same.
When you take over my position as sacrist, you should implore the bishop to send us a new relic. By then I'll be sub-prior. The new prior and I will support you in this.
A new relic might also attract more pilgrims.
Philip of Gwynedd, I wanted to talk to you. How dare you disturb Brother Remigius' requiem?
I'm afraid the choir is waiting for me.
Stay, brother. There's no reason you shouldn't hear what Philip has to say for himself.
I was shocked by the prior's death.
We all were. I'm sure at St. John's you're a good prior, but here we adhere to the rules.
We can't allow Prior James's books to be burned.
That, Philip, was Prior James's wish.
This priory is in debt. And without the ledgers and documents, that will never change. Besides, the wisdom in his books is priceless.
It is not up to you to make decisions in this priory, Brother Philip.
Do not domineer over those in your charge, but be an example to the flock.
1 Peter chapter 5. You are right. You shall argue your case in front of the brothers in a chapter meeting today.
Thank you, Brother Andrew.
When I'm done here, I will tell all the monks to come to the chapter house.
Would it help if I went and told some of them?
Feel free to do that. But I insist that the choir finishes practicing before we start. They're already behind schedule.
Do you ever think of running?
You look like you want to ask me something.
You are Philip of Gwynedd?
Yes, but you can call me Brother Philip.
You see? Told you he wouldn't mind.
Yes. Now ask him.
How about you ask him?
I already asked Brother Andrew.
What is it?
Brother Milius told us you know the scripture very well. Could you tell us about God's temple?
Brother Andrew wouldn't tell us.
Must be a place. A cathedral.
Each of us is God's temple, in the way that he created us.
And what if someone does something to God's temple?
The scripture says, if anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him.
Even if he destroys his own temple of God?
So for Prior James there's no salvation as well?
Prior James did not commit suicide.
But no one saw him that night. No one knows.
God knows. God knows what sent him running out onto the ice.
They say the devil was chasing him.
Didn't say his name.
I have seen brave men run, for many reasons. Never have I seen the devil. So we should not make room for him, neither here nor in our hearts. All right?
Yes, Brother Philip.
Thank you, Brother Philip.
No. I heard it, I'm sure.
You seem troubled, brother.
They won't sing. It's Adolphus. There was nothing, believe me.
I heard him crying in the crypt.
I think I heard him too.
No, you are mistaken.
It sounded like a whip, like he was chastising himself.
It's the end of days.
Brother Philip, please help me. Prove to them that there is nothing and no one down there.
There was something. He's right.
Let's see what we can find. No reason to be afraid. Nothing. These old cathedrals are bound to make strange sounds. Thought so. Nothing here. Even if it is Adolphus, we would have to welcome him. Nothing here. The saint rests in peace. Hello? No, no one. Not a thing. Hello? No! What is that? What is that? It's the size of a child. Hello? Oh. An owl. Just an owl. The choir will be relieved to know that. I should tell them.
No talking. Now we sing.
There is no need to worry, brothers. Adolphus is resting in peace. It was just an owl.
I told you it was nothing.
God bless you, Brother Philip.
I knew I heard something.
Now, be silent, concentrate, and...
This priory is so much bigger than our small cell in the forest. Why is this locked?
So, again, we're all God's temple.
It's getting cold. When will these novices learn to close the door?
Cuthbert, I believe I found your keys.
Where did you find them?
The thief hid them in the cathedral.
That is a sacrilege. Will you report the thief to Remigius, Brother Philip?
I already have.
Keep them until we know what to do, will you?
All of us. Because God created us in His image. That's why we can all pray to Him.
The choir has finished singing. The cantor should find time now. Are you ready for the chapter meeting, Brother Philip? If you have any other business to take care of in Kingsbridge, do it now. The meeting could take a long time.
The chapter meeting is more important. And this is why Prior James's wish must not be honoured. Kingsbridge Priory would be beyond saving without financial records.
I think we have all understood the reason for your concern, Brother Philip. But before we come to a decision, let us hear other voices of concern.
I would like to know why you would doubt the wisdom in Prior James's decision.
Maybe you didn't know him as well as we did, Philip. I can say I knew him well. We all here knew him. So did you know him. What are you trying to achieve with your silence? You waste our time.
I say he knew him well.
James was the one who asked Philip to take care of St. John in the Forest.
One of the most prosperous cells in all of Shiring, if not England.
It was a wise decision then.
But his last wish was not. Well, was it? What are you waiting for? Answer me. Your silence is offensive. You came to talk, so talk.
Prior James was a troubled man.
Yes, he left the priory in the dead of night.
God was testing Prior James.
I say the devil chased him. Do you doubt that? Do you doubt that, Philip? Surely you must have an answer. I know because Prior James confided in me.
Maybe it wasn't the devil. We've never seen him.
Don't speak for him. He hasn't answered any of my questions.
The novices would be better advised not to speak up.
Philip is a good man. He was the only one to say I should have a fire.
But did he do anything besides talk?
Yes, he brought me a hot stone.
That's our Philip.
But why don't you tell us the real reason you have come before us? You not only came to save these books, you have another motivation, do you not? We deserve the truth. What are your true intentions?
Let me answer.
No. Why is he not answering any of my questions? Tell him, all of you, tell him to answer me.
Calm down, Remigius. Philip has said what he had to say.
Why is no one listening to me?
Look around you. This priory is in a sorry state. Please vote to save the prior's documents from the fire. It's the only way to help this priory.
I say we leave the decision not up to a vote, but to Remigius.
That is against the rules.
Is it? He will be our new prior in a few days. Cuthbert declined, do you not remember?
I remember well. And I say no one in Kingsbridge is better suited for prior than Remigius.
Well, thank you, brother.
Well, that's true.
Hear, hear.
I wonder why Cuthbert declined. Surely not.
That said, there is someone not from our priory, someone better suited. I nominate Philip of Gwynedd to be the new prior of Kingsbridge. What do you say, Philip?
I can't disagree with that.
Well, yes, obviously my choice.
What?
Excellent choice.
What about Remigius?
That's surprising.
Great idea. Philip.
Brother Philip, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you for your kind offer, but we would not want to impose on you, Brother Remigius.
Oh, but I insist. I will help you.
No, you really must not. We will see you later. Thank you. We don't have much time. Evening Mass will begin soon.
Should I not have accepted the nomination?
You've never been good at saying no. And Milius is right. Kingsbridge needs you.
What about St. John's?
I will ride there tomorrow. I will let them know you will be staying in Kingsbridge for a few days. Thanks to you, these documents and books will not be burned. Now, we have to find that letter.
You truly think the letter can help prevent a war?
If the message says what I think it says, then yes, I do. Now, let us look for the letter.
James was involved in politics once, like you, before he became prior.
Just like me. You see, there is a way then. A way to connect politics and faith.
I wonder. Francis, I think I found it.
In the Bible?
Revelations, the Apocalypse of St. John. And they called to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?" The Lamb? What was James afraid of? Was it this letter?
No, the letter is still sealed. Break the seal. Oh, this is it. You found it.
The Earl of Shiring is about to start a war.
Yes. He's made contact with my own master, Earl Robert of Gloucester.
Who is this King Stephen that has taken the throne?
A nephew of King Henry. Do you ever think of the day our parents died?
Francis, you know I don't like to talk of that.
I know. It's just that I think of them all the time. And I've always blamed King Henry. The Church suffered under his rule as much as we did in Wales. Philip, you have to show this letter to the Bishop of Kingsbridge.
The Bishop of Kingsbridge? Why?
Our late King Henry was opposed to Rome's influence in England. King Stephen, on the other hand, swore to preserve the rights and privileges of the Church, and we can help him if you tell the bishop to protect Stephen.
You want the bishop to help the new king, King Stephen?
I want a king who supports the Church. I want these dark times to end. I want to stop the Earl of Shiring from starting a war. He could set the whole of England on fire. My lord the Earl of Gloucester can never know what I was doing here. You must not tell the truth about how or where you got this letter. Don't tell anyone I was involved.
Do you really think the bishop will help?
Tell him you found the letter by coincidence.
And if he does not believe me, what then?
He will believe you. The question is, will he really try to stop the Earl of Shiring? I will ride to St. John's and tell your monks you will stay in Kingsbridge until the election.
What if the Earl of Shiring finds out what I'm doing? What if the bishop tells him?
Philip, calm down. He is your bishop.
I'm a simple monk. Who am I to talk to a bishop?